A sixth time that Eden Court's organised Inverness Film Festival, and for the third time it's been directed by Matt Lloyd and Paul Taylor. Paul's our regular film programmer. He's off on holiday this week, so Matt is going to tell you all about the film festival. I think it's a great lineup and a couple of pretty special guests, and I'll let Matt tell you all about it.
Thanks, Colin. I think it's a bit unfair on Paul. Paul's actually, at this minute, he's tirelessly working his way through all the films that the London Film Festival has to offer, just to bring the best of them up to Inverness next year. So I think we can hardly blame him for working so hard in London and leaving me to do this on my own. Really, I just wanted to say that once again, over the last 3 years, we've tried to forge an identity for the festival which concentrates on Scottish and, in particular, Highland filmmaking. And this year is very much in keeping with that. We're focusing on Scottish filmmaking of the present, with particularly with our opening and closing films. This year's been an amazing year for Tilda Swinton, I think, starting with the Oscar win in February, and since then she's worked on a number of great-sounding films with big American names like Jim Jarmusch and David Fincher. I think she's about to start work on a film with Roman Polanski. So all those films will be coming out soon. She then launched her own film festival up the road, which was a huge success. And we really wanted to pay tribute to her for everything she's done for Highland film culture, not only by showing her latest film on Sunday the 23rd, Julia, which is just a powerhouse of a performance by her. It's just completely exhausting to watch. I mean, it's quite an incredible film. But also we thought we'd do something slightly experimental by showing a film from, I think, 18 years ago now, Orlando, which is really the not her first film by any means, but the film which brought her into the spotlight for people who weren't, for the most of us who weren't at the time big Derek Jarman fans. So, you know, it was the first time she was really on mainstream screens. And we're delighted that Tilda's going to come and introduce Orlando and answer questions on that. Also, filmmaking of the present from Scotland, we have Kenny Glenann's film. Kenny Glenann is an actor and director. This is, I think, his best and strongest film, and the first film that's really going to make a household name of him. It's called Summer, and it's starring Robert Carlyle. So two Scottish talents, although it's actually made down in the Midlands, but made with Scottish money. And Robert Carlyle, again, another amazing performance for which he won Best British Actor at Edinburgh this year. We also have Sutherland-based producer Margaret Matheson's documentary, Sleep Furiously, about a Welsh village going through the changes of kind of modernity. Really, really beautiful documentary. We have Scottish-based director Simon Hind's new film, his first feature, in fact, Senseless. Simon Hind won a BAFTA Scotland Award for his short film, Tumshi McFadgen's, it's a very long name, I can't remember it now, Guide to Ultimate Bliss or something like that. But this is his first feature, which is a truly terrifying chiller called Senseless. We have short films made through Eden Court's Film Lab, and also we have some films made down the road in Tomic by a chap called Ben Rivers, who makes films with an old wind-up Bolex 16mm camera, develops the film in his bath. Really, really beautiful films, and following kind of unusual characters and communities around their homes, kind of in deepest, darkest Scotland. Of the past, Scottish filmmaking of the past, we have a Highland double bill. This year we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of Local Hero, and we have another film about the clash between American money and Highland values, which is a 1935 comedy, The Ghost Goes West, starring Robert Donat. And we also have a really great, a great event called The Ghost Show, which is kind of a lecture with archive clips, very, very rare clips of the very early days of cinema, when travelling shows brought films to to communities all over Scotland, and it's a rare chance to hear from a descendant of those show people talking about the films and showing some of them. And then we have Scottish Filmmaking of the Future. We're delighted that we have a whole raft of educational events, but also 2 masterclasses for budding filmmakers, with one with Becky Thompson, who's a sound recordist, very successful sound recordist. She's recorded sound on 4 features as well as The Bill. She's recently moved back up to the Highlands and is now based in Ullapool. And 2 cinematographers based in Edinburgh, Scott Ward and Mintu Mantinen, award-winning cinematographers who are going to kind of take filmmakers through ways to improve their sound and their vision on a low budget. Apart from Scottish-themed stuff, we have a big music presence in the festival, not only the Scottish premiere of Trip to Asia, which is all about the Berlin Philharmonic's trip to Asia, but also we're really excited to have Neil Brand here. Neil Brand he's based in London, but he travels the world. He's the best silent movie pianist in the business today. I mean, it's a niche market these days, but he really is quite incredible. And he's actually going to be next door in the One Touch Theatre performing his one-man show, where he shows clips from films and plays along to them, talks you through what the processes of going through his mind as he improvises to different films, how he adds to the story. There's one moment where he'll show us a clip from a film he hasn't seen, and so he'll literally be seeing it for the first time and responding as he watches it. And it's a really beautiful show. I've seen it myself. We have a wealth of really strong documentaries. We have a film called Crawford, which is all about the community that George Bush moved into just before he took up the presidency, a town of 700, tiny little sleepy village, which he just caused total chaos in this village as soon as he moved there. So I'm sure you can imagine. It's by the end of the film, you see 200,000 anti-war protesters and counter-protesters all converging on this poor kind of community that never wanted him there in the first place. So that's just one of the several films that deals with kind of different senses of community in the festival. And just a wealth of new international films, many of them Scottish premieres. So I'd be very happy to take any questions or to have a chat about anything specific. But thank you all for coming.